So I've got a question for you. What do you get when you mix an earthworm, a sci-fi theme, gross-out humor, and a saved-a-damsel-in-distress plot, and slam it into a blender? Why, you get Earthworm Jim. Hey, howdy, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the sub-series Until We Win. Inspired by the likes of Lord Cat, who originated the concept, his series was about playing those legendarily difficult games we've come to know and love, while giving you the tips and tricks to beating those electronic nightmares. And this is no different. Unfortunately, he's since stopped making these kind of videos and deleted everything he had. There is a YouTube channel out there dedicated to archiving that footage, so I urge you to go watch it. Jason, on the off chance you're watching this, I hope I do you proud, man. There is only one simple rule to Until We Win, and that rule includes no cheating outside of the game. That means no Game Genie, no action replay, none of that. If it's in the game such as the Konami code or warp pipes, that's perfectly fine. But before I go to the actual content, what the fuck is an Earthworm Jim? Well, he's...
Hold it right there, Kaiju!
Jim? Dude, what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, come now. Surely you didn't think you could do a video on yours truly and not expect me to show up, did you?
Well, no. Who in their right mind would expect somebody to just come out of nowhere just because they were talking about a game they started in?
Stop right there. You didn't start this whole shindig without us now, did ya? Us fan characters gotta get some appreciation too.
Alright, who the fuck are you? And why the hell is everyone jumping in all of a sudden?
Oh, you know us. Don't be silly. We only help run the Discord server.
Yeah, that's right. You're my admins over there. Hey, by the way, shameless plug, link into the description. Say hello to Gene and Winnie. Where about everybody?
Well, I certainly don't mind two more joining us, especially if you just want to be my loyal fan and my sweet, loving wife.
Wait, you what? But that's not canon! How did this happen?
It's a long story.
Besides, you really don't have to worry. This is all basically fan-created content. It's not entirely restricted to what's canon and what isn't, nor does it interfere with the original continuity. It's all just for fun. You know, like the whole thing with Dr. Robotnik Cecil was brought up a few years ago.
I see what you're putting down. So basically everything is canon. Gotcha. You know what? I'm fine with that. Well, since you're all here, do you want to do the honors, Jim?
Certainly! My first game was released on the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo back in 1994. It was praised for the beautiful animation, tight controls, and surrealist humor. It was so popular it was even ported to multiple consoles like the Game Gear, the Game Boy Advance, the Sega CD, the Nintendo Wii, and even on the Windows 98. I hear you have a copy!
Well, yeah, how could I not? Come on, it's only the best version outside of the Sega CD, and if I remember right, the game didn't do so well on everything else, wasn't it butchered on the Game Boy?
Yep, you got that right, buddy. Luckily for us and our viewers, of course, that's not the version we're gonna be looking at. You're gonna be playing the Sega CD version until you win.
No. It's not just until I win, it's until we win. This video is gonna show you the ins and outs of playing the game until you can master it on your own. Why don't you come help me with this episode, you three? I bet you have other tidbits you'd like to share.
Of course! Did you know that my game was so popular that it spawned action figures, comic books, and even a cartoon series that ran for 2 seasons? There's even a high-definition remake for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Jim, I hate to be that guy, but those games are taken off the shelves on account that I had stolen artwork, and you know, the games weren't exactly high fidelity, you know.
They did what?! Ugh, the nerve of them to do such a thing! I should have known that Game Loft would botch it up somehow!
Oh, dear.
Hey, come on now. Leave the past behind. Besides, you got another TV show coming up in the future. One I can't wait to watch, by the way. But we've been going at this for far too long. Let's just get into the game, tell the audience how to beat it, and then you can go on to do bigger, better things, alright?
Sounds fair to me, big dude. Right.
Let's play my game!
Until we win! Alright, well the first thing that needs to happen before anything gets done is me explaining my tips and tricks. First thing you're gonna want to do is get used to how Jim controls. Now I know what you're saying, that's pretty much every single video game out there, but let me explain. Jim's gun doesn't behave exactly like you'd expect it to. If you've ever watched an action movie, you'll know what I mean. You'll watch the main character spray and pray his bullets instead of aiming most of the time. It feels the same way here. If you want to shoot somebody diagonally, you want to wave in that general direction. You'll hit them more often than not, and you might hit them either way, but spraying and praying will guarantee you those hits. The second thing that needs to happen is get used to the whipping mechanic now. The first level will have you swinging from hooks and antlers on a moose to get you situated with the controls. Now what the game doesn't tell you is that in order to swing higher, you'll have to press up on the D-pad while you're in the motion of swinging. This will help you swing from hooks that are placed beside each other like on a pillar. And you're gonna need to master this mechanic in order to get past some of the platforming in this game, trust me. Thirdly, explore the level at your leisure. There's no time limit to this game, so do what you can to explore as much of the level as you possibly can. There's a bunch of extra ammo, lives, and continues for you to acquire, and if you're smart, you're gonna conserve as much of it as you can. The fourth piece of advice is be prepared to press the jump button a lot. Jim here can slow his descent just slightly with his helicopter-y head thing. This may look useless, but trust me when I say that some levels are built around this mechanic. You'll also need it in order to get yourself away from death, so get ready to hammer that jump button as much as possible until you're sore in the thumb. The last tidbit I can give you is do your best to conserve your ammo. Some levels will strain your supply, and there might be a time you run out of it. It recharges, but very slowly. And getting caught in a dire situation with barely any bullets to your name is not ideal. So if you can whip it and kill it, I suggest doing so. Now that we understand how to maneuver your character, let's get him through the game, shall we?
I can handle this part. New Junk City is your typical tutorial stage, which the only goal you have is to get from start to finish. The enemies here are slow enough for you to see coming, and there are plenty of chains for you to hang from. But be careful, a dog might come along to bite my ass!
Push up on the D-pad to have Jim lift his behind out of danger, and then when the dog stops trying to eat him, fill his belly with lead.
There are two distinct bosses in this level. One is a giant trash can guy. The fuck kind of boss is this?
You're asking me?
I mean, yes, but... well, anyway, what you want to do is stay far away from him, but just close enough where you can still shoot him. You can stay just around half a screen away before your bullets stop doing damage. You'll notice when you're not doing anything if there isn't a small tuft of smoke when you hit the boss. He'll slam his foot on the ground and a tuba will fall right above you. All you have to do is move to the side. Yeah, you can shoot it if you want, but it's much easier just to dodge. Once you do enough damage, he'll transform into a cannon. He'll shoot anvils straight at you unless you have him in a spot where his ammunition hits the ground and can't go any further. This is a good time to shoot him from far away. If you don't have him in an ideal spot, your bullets can still stop his anvils from traveling. Just be sure to bring in a good amount of ammo for this fight, and you have been exploring the level, right? After that, he'll start driving towards you. The only thing you have to do is go to one side of the screen, hop over him, and if you don't think your jump is going to make it, don't underestimate that hover move. Once he's turned away from you, he'll go all the way to the other side of the screen before turning around. Take that opportunity to shoot him until the game tells you to stop. The second boss is some weird guy on a crane thing. This is just fucking weird.
Well, first off, he's got a name, you goon. His name is Chuck, and the only thing I can tell you is don't think about it and whip the boxes. Push them to the other side until they bounce right up into his ass. Stop talking about ass!
You ain't my mom! I'll talk about all the ass I want!
Well, if you're done interrupting... Anyway, when you shove a box right up his, behind, they'll more fish at you. Do your best to stay underneath them so his fish never hit you. Rinse and repeat until the boss is finished.
And now here comes one of the many bounds rounds, anti-asteroids. It's here you have to race a psychotic mercenary named Psychro.
Psychro! Ugh, this fate is the worst!
Wait, really? I thought he was a pretty cool dude. No, I can't be the only one. I saw him babysitting Winnie's kid just yesterday.
Wait, Winnie, you what? Well, listen, they seem to like him enough.
Anyway, your race against Psychro may not look hard, but trust me when I say this feels very much like the bonus areas in Sonic 2. Only when you hit an obstacle, you immediately lose all your speed. You want to collect as many of these orbs as you can, as they count as an extra continue if you grab enough. The electric balls will shield you from collision with an asteroid and will even help push your rival back if you collide with him. The red orbs are a boost, and you need to grab these as many times as possible in order to gain a lead. Whether or not you grab enough balls, that ain't the goal. What is finishing your race in first place. If you do end up beating him, good for you, you just go to the next level. But if you lose, you have to fight the fucking bastard!
Fighting him isn't all that hard. All you have to do is shoot him until he's stunned and then whip him. After a couple of rounds, he flies off.
Level 2. What the heck?
This level consists of floating demons you need to shoot, lawyers who need to be whipped first before shooting them, plenty of spots in which a random fire will shoot from the ground burning you, and hooks, in which you must be able to swing from in order to obtain goodies you'll need for the future. The level itself isn't very hard, but I've seen people get stuck on these giant emeralds. They just fall right off. What you need to do is walk on them in order to make them activate. Either they'll teleport you to another place, or they'll slowly float up to with you on it. Don't just walk on them, you have to fidget a little bit in order to get them going. Just watch the footage here and you'll see what I mean. Easy peasy. What isn't easy is Prototype Bad Mr. Frosty over here. Oh yeah, he may look friendly with that charcoal smile is, but what he loves to do is shoot fireballs from his mouth, yes, fucking fireballs, and shake you to the ground where he'll pop up in one of several places.
How odd. You would think a snowman such as this wouldn't last very long in an environment such as the Bowels of Heck, or even have these sort of abilities.
Does it make any less sense than an earthworm who has a super suit that can travel through space without a helmet?
Touché.
The worst part about him is that he doesn't give you much of a telegraph as to where he is going to appear next. The best thing I found for this boss was to just stay in the middle and give him some time before jumping. At least there, he won't pop up right behind you, or worse, below you dealing you damage. As always, just whip him enough times and you'll be taken right out of the arena. Unlike the last level where it was nice and simple, this time you're going against Evil the Cat. And he's got some bombs just waiting to screw up your platforming venture. While you can simply run away from the bomb, what you're really running away from is the stalactites that will drop on your head. These things take a chunk of life out of you too, so you can't dawdle here. The best thing I found for this part was to practice. You want to time your jump so that you hop just in time with the stalactites before they turn around and hit you again. Trust me when I say this, you're going to die a lot. And after clearing that obstacle course...
Hey! That file full of righteousness stole my supersuit!
Evil the Cat steals your suit and tries to kill you with fireballs and rocks. All you gotta do is dodge the incoming projectiles while vulnerable to the elements. Pay attention to how the rocks react, as they're gonna be the ones that trip you up the most. The fire that comes towards you, you don't want to touch any part of it, as it will just hurt Jim on the way to melting the pillar. Even the smoke hurts you. God fucking damn it. After that, you get your suit back and you start the final part of this little boss fight, and it's completely random bullshit.
Our ferocious feline here loves sandwiches out of nowhere, so it's up to us to shoot him before he strikes. Every time he loses a life, fire will come in from both sides. If you can take all of his 9 lives away, you win the level!
There will be a small delay before he reaches out for our hero, so try to time it as best you can before you wave in all directions. This boss is going to make you waste ammo anyway, so just use what you have.
Level 3, Big Broody! Oh boy.
This is one of the exclusive levels to the Special Edition, to which you must traverse around the level guiding a giant dinosaur alien to chase you.
But please, just don't let him eat my sweetheart.
Winnie, it's okay. Shh, calm down. It's gonna be okay. All we have to do is guide the thing towards one side of the screen and occasionally jump over him. Yeah, if he reaches you, that's an instant death, and you can't shoot him, and you reset him when you whip him, but you need him in order to break some of the obstacles or walls in your way. After you understand how to use him to traverse the level, there's not much else to talk about. You got these weird mosquito bee-looking things that's trying to kill you, but a good whip to the noggin will take care of them. Man, that was a pretty short stage. I wish the rest of them were like this.
Level 4. Down the tubes. I hate this level.
You and me both, my loyal fan.
Oh, I fucking do too. This level consists of giant Arnold Schwarzenegger-looking cats, gremlins on the ground that can't be killed unless you're riding a giant hamster. Weird pulsating meteorites that fart when you shoot them, and one of the hardest parts in the entire game, but we'll get to that. Oh, we'll get to that.
The first segment has you running through these corridors trying to get above and over giant cats that you're not going to be able to kill. If you shoot them, they'll head right towards you, and depending on your situation, this might actually be a good thing. Just jump up and pull your ass up along with you to let them walk by. The second they get by you, start running. Those gremlins you see on the floor can't be killed unless you're riding a giant hamster that could just eat them. You'll only find them in certain parts, and I swear this one part in the level you definitely have to take a hit in order to get by.
With all that out of the way, let's talk about the level section that every Earthworm Jim fan could probably agree that will make you want to tear your hair out of your head!
By the great worm spirit.
Oh god, please, no.
Oh yeah, that part, the submarine section. Oh, it tries to get cute. It tries to get you ready by having a couple of these segments beforehand. But nothing will prepare you for it. I game overed so many times because of this fucking bullshit! You see, you're guiding a glass bubble on jets through a maze with a limited amount of air. Yeah, you can find these little air nozzles in order to fill you up, but in this maze there's only one, and that's it. You aim the jets and then press the button to send yourself heading towards that direction. You have to master the very finicky balance of both speed and precision in order to get through the level. This section wants you to go fast as well as turn on a dime. And if you hit the walls too many times, I'm pretty sure you know exactly what happens. I don't need to tell you. Even if Jim can live underwater for 2 weeks, he's not lasting through the sea pressure! After that test of the soul, you come up to what could very well be the hardest part of the game! Bob the Killer Goldfish! You see... Oh. You shoot him. You just shoot him? That's it. That's anticlimactic, actually. What the hell?
Well, at least it's a lot easier than the part before.
That wasn't worth it. Let's move on.
Level 5's not a problem? Ew.
Not exactly a level, but more of just a distraction to mix things up a little. This one's one of the more annoying segments. In fact, I feel like it rivals that of the level we just came out of. You and Major Mucus over here are bungee jumping over a bubbly snot lake, dangling over the jaws of a deadly monster lurking underneath. The goal of this section is to knock your enemy into the wall and snap his cord. You go at each other for 3 rounds, with the first 2 rounds not being all that difficult. Your third round, however, will definitely test your patience as his cord is much stronger now. You can't just punish him.
Here's a pro tip. After you knock him into the wall, he'll start spinning. His spin can cut your cord in seconds, so what you want to do is hug the wall on the opposite side. More often than not, he's not going to go anywhere near you, so just keep doing this until you win. But be careful at the bottom, though, as the monster down there can snap you in half. He will slowly follow you even when it's not on screen, so pay attention to where you are and do your best not to get eaten. Please. I'm begging you.
Wow, that's actually some pretty sound advice, dude. Thanks. Level 6! Level 5?
Yes, this is the actual level 5.
Right. Anyway, this is the home of Professor Monkey for a Head. Wait, what the hell? What are you doing in my house? I didn't invite you to this thing. I'm already pushing it with 3. Well, I invited myself because I've been watching this train wreck of a video going underway, and I think... Wait, why don't I have a special art style? This isn't fair. If I didn't give a line to Psychro, I'm not giving one to you either, you monkey fuck!
Listen, there's basically 2 of you. I'm not gonna draw like a bajillion drawings just for one joke. And besides...
Please, just go.
Should I show you to the door?
No! I'm fine, Jim, just perfectly fine. Here I go, out the door I go. So long, toodaloo. Jesus, this first episode is fucking weird! Level 5 is gonna be a really hard one for a lot of people. You have these floating brain things that when shot drop a bunch of little shrimpy creatures that tackle you, flying eyeballs with wings, a section where you're guided in a cage ball and have to survive just long enough to get to the next area, and the professor himself climbing on chains to throw potions your way. Ain't that nice? You'll be doing a lot of hook swinging, jumping before getting electrocuted, and stopping enemy generators, which are these valves the good professor likes to fiddle with to get through this place. The biggest obstacle that you have in this level is the cage ball. Indescribable horrors will pop out in droves to harass you, and it's up to you to figure out what the pattern is before you get killed. It's gonna take a lot of practice, but memorize it well enough and you'll survive. You have to survive 2 rounds of this, by the way, so good luck! The rest of the level isn't all that difficult, if you survive long enough to get here. Just take your time and you'll beat it. There's only one section in which you have to navigate a little obstacle course without your suit. That part ain't so hard, but once you obtain your suit, you can go back up and grab some of the goodies you may not have been able to reach before. Unless you're great at maneuvering around dangers, the very last item at the beginning of the course will give you an extra life, and that's just not worth it. Don't do it. I'm begging you. The boss of this level is, chicken in a mech suit that bombs you with its eggs? Oh God, do I even... that's like birthing a baby every 3 seconds just to huck it like a soccer ball!
Man, I thought Yoshi was fucked up.
You'll want to hit the target above him to drop mutant amoebas on his head. Do it enough times so the professor will teleport you to round 2.
This time you're free-falling in a bottomless pit armed with spikes on the wall, and your job is to shoot the boss until the game tells you to stop. The trick to this section is to only shoot when it's absolutely necessary, and then dodge the incoming attack. Line up your shot and shoot just once. You don't need to use up your entire inventory for this boss. It's not going to do any damage, I assure you. Try to stay as in the middle of the stage as you can, and that will give you enough leeway to go up or down. Once you do enough damage, you'll be taken out of the level. Thank God!
Level 6. For Pete's sake. Oh dear.
This level can suck my warm cock!
Jim, don't you dare finish that fucking sentence!
Besides, that's her job, Jim. Huh? You heard me.
Oh my!
Anywho, this level requires you to escort the little puppy Peter from the very beginning to the end of the level. There'll be UFOs, tentacles, springs, and seesaws that you need to maneuver around in order to get him from point A to point B. Now here's the catch. If you shoot Peter himself, he'll duck and cover, allowing you to get rid of choking points and get him across nice and safe. If you whip him, you send him jumping upwards. And now, if you're good at this, you can even juggle him for a little bit before letting him land on the ground safely. Just don't be me and get cocky, because if he gets hit by anything, or falls into the void below, he'll turn into the Hulk's pet dog and rip you apart, dragging you all the way through a checkpoint just to spit you out! What an asshole! Another thing you have to watch out for is little pebbles that fall from the sky. As soon as you see this, get Peter to duck down and start spraying wildly. Meteors will drop in from above just to ruin your day. How fucking swell! You'll know the meteor shower is over once you see a couple more pebbles following the meteors, and then it's right back to guiding Peter. One more thing. At the end of the level, you'll see a sign pointing to either home, which is what you want to do, and a hard mode, which is something you want to avoid. There's literally no reason to do the hard mode unless you like bragging rights to people who just don't care. I didn't do this part because I'm not, in fact, a moron, so there!
You're such a chicken, dude.
Come now, good sir. Show you'd want all of the extra lives of that puppy reward you with, don't you?
I dare you, the both of you, to get to even try doing that part of the level. Come back to me when you do!
On second thought, never mind.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
Level 7. Intestinal distress. Oh God. Gross.
This level is supposedly you crawling around the inside of an unknown monster the size of a planet. Why does this remind me of Abadox? Anyway, this is another bonus level for the special edition. It consists of tubes that shoot you upwards, the same meteors you found in Down the Tubes, giant, kidney stones, and fish with helicopter Alright, what kind of a fucking monster is this thing? It doesn't help it has some of the most terrifying music in the background. Listen!
It's not that long of a level. Just keep going up until the game tells you not to anymore, and you'll go fight the boss.
You mean Doc Duodenum?
Living, duodenum of the fairy beast you're crawling around in, and his attack is shooting bile at you. Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought Puddin' in the giant ball form was gross.
Who's Puddin'?
Oh, you don't know who Puddin'? Oh, okay. No. Here you go. You want to see Puddin'? Here he is!
Are those trees?
That's so gross. He's like a fleshy soccer ball.
Anyway, let's just finish this up and get out of here, alright? You'll want to get as far away from him as possible and shoot him when he jumps up to reach you. If you're good at this, you'll stop him in his tracks and send him falling directly down to the floor where he'll have to try again to jump at you. Just keep moving away from him and take the time to run to the other side if he gets too close and finish him off. There! Now we can get out of here. Thank the great fucking worm spirit.
It's the final level, Bootville! We're almost at the end of the game!
The game has been a nightmare so far, but this is the level that will test your reflexes and how well you can swing from the same pillar. You got all sorts of annoyances such as bees from a hive, bugs with giant scissors for mouths that will chop you in half, oh god, and little slime balls on the ground that'll poke you with their electric tongues. Fucking weird.
Just take your time. I can't stress this enough. Do what you can to navigate through this level with as little pain as possible.
You'll be climbing up pillars with hooks on them to get higher up the level. You'll be standing on these weird basketball platform thingies that will make you fall off if you're not careful, all while trying to kill off bees as well as those other enemies I mentioned.
For the beehive, try to shoot it as fast as possible. Or, if you have a big blast power-up for your weapon, use it on these things. It will cut through the mess and destroy the hive.
If you see glowing yellow eyes, do not hop near it unless you're ready to immediately back off and draw it out. In order to get past these things without risk of death, you'll need to whip them as soon as they're within view. If it hides, you gotta do it again. Do not try to jump past them unless your reflexes are golden, because otherwise, you're gonna get sliced in half more often than not. The slime ball on the ground, you just have to shoot, but you'll never get rid of them. It's almost not even worth trying to kill them, as they'll just respawn as quickly as they died. Just hop over them.
There will be sections of this level where I must use my Hellhead ability. Remember that? This is the section that will test you. When my feet touch any of the spikes, or I'm as good as dead.
After all of that, you'll finally reach the queen herself, or at least her ass. The quickest way to kill this section of the boss is to whip it.
Whip it! Whip it good.
Oh my goodness. Hey, how about you two save it for when you're not on camera, huh?
The only thing you have to worry about is the moving platform underneath. Occasionally there will be a spiked platform, so don't touch it. I shouldn't have to tell you not to touch the spiked thing. Once it's dead, the real boss is on the left of you. Dodge her blood dripping from her body, and then hop onto a floating booger platform. There you'll find...
Evil Queen pulsating blood, festering, sweaty, pus-filled platforms, look for a box!
That! Queen Slug for a butt will be right in the middle as you hover around her. Your goal is to keep her from spawning bees as much as humanly possible. Just go to town with her on your ammo. If you run out during this part, you're gonna be forced to either whip her or wait for your gun to recharge. And good luck with that when she's busy throwing her children at you! This takes a lot of patience, but if you're good about shooting her when she's just visible off the screen, your bullets are gonna hit, stopping her in her tracks. Do it enough times and...
Congratulations! You beat one of the hardest games the 90s had to offer. And what's your reward for beating it on hard mode?
My creator gets to talk to you!
Yeah, I know. You're the best! Boy, you've really whipped this game. I mean, you can put it back on the shelf. You've mastered it. I mean, on difficult. That's incredible. I couldn't even do that. I'm telling you, you know, you can just put the joystick down now and rest assured that you are the best. I mean, you're probably the only one who's even done this. You're probably the only person who's heard this right now. Heard this, me, talking right now, you! You are someone special to us. We care about you. I mean, if you ever feel bad about yourself, think about this day and what you're hearing right now. You are the best. And if you fail at anything, if you come in last at the track meet, you just sit there and raise your head up and say, Shiny said I was the best. And dang it, I'm the best. I'm in last place, but I'm the best. If you wake up someday and you're in prison, serving a life sentence, you just look up and say, I'm the best. When you're down, when you're lonely, when all their friends have turned their backs on you because you're such a jerk, you just sit there and say to yourself, I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best.
That and the final cutscene. And that's it! That's the entirety of Earthworm Jim! God, that game was brutal! Oh, Jesus.
Yes, but you kicked its ass! Way to go, my grandiose compadre!
Excellent job. Way to go.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you don't mind, I'd like to go grab a bite. Anyone coming? I hear there's a Red Lobster nearby. The people there are delicious.
Yeah, this video was brutal. I could use a bite.
Oh, hey, I forgot you were back there editing the video. Cyrus, yeah, you can join. What about the rest of you?
Yes, I hear the seafood there is quite delicious. Wait, what did you say?
Nothing! Anyway, so Jim, Winnie, Gene, after all this, what are you gonna do now?
Well, first I'm gonna go grab some of that seafood gumbo, and then I hope you save some room for dessert because I'm going to make you eat dirt, you vile villain!
Oh! So this is the thanks I get for going through your brutally difficult game, huh? Fine, you know what? I don't need fucking humans. I can just have some warm spaghetti! Get over here, you little fucking shit!
But please don't fight. Maybe we can have pineapple pizza instead. We'll catch you next time, folks. On the next episode, we'll be playing the sequel to the first game, Earthworm Jim 2. See you then!
On until we win!